Lesson 1. What are resources? Everything we use comes from in and above the earth. Some of these materials can be replaced, but others cannot. A few resources are never used up. Resources that can be replaced. The things we need come from natural resources. A natural resource is an important material from the earth that living things need. Some natural resources can be replaced. For example, trees and crops grow in soil on Earth's surface. Both need water and air. Water comes from rain, rivers, lakes, and groundwater. Air is everywhere above ground. People cut down trees for their wood. They use wood to build new houses and turn wood chips into pulp. Pulp is made into paper. Paper products include boxes, newspapers, and this book. People can plant new trees to replace those cut down. In time, the trees will grow big enough to be cut down again. A resource that can be replaced in a fairly short time is called a renewable resource. Trees are a renewable resource. And let's take a look at our pictures here, how they use the trees. These logs at a lumber or paper mill come from trees. Lumber mills saw tree trunks into boards that are used to build new houses. And here's our checkpoint question that we'll talk about tomorrow. What makes some resources renewable? I think it says right up here. A resource that can be replaced in a fairly short time is called a renewable resource. Let's turn the page. Resources that cannot be replaced. Many natural resources come from below the ground. Miners dig into the ground to get rocks called ores. Ores are important natural resources because they contain metals or other minerals that people use. Examples of useful metals are copper, iron, and aluminum. Hematite, for instance, is an ore that contains the metal iron. Steel is made from iron. What will you use today that has steel in it? How about a bus or a fork? Lots of things are made of steel, but there is only so much iron ore in the ground. Once we use it up, it cannot be replaced. A resource that cannot be replaced is a non-renewable resource. Coal is another non-renewable resource. Like oil and natural gas, coal is a fuel. When it is burned, it releases useful energy. Energy from these fuels provides heat in buildings and power for cars, trucks, and planes. The energy from these fuels can be used only once. We can get more fuel by digging more of these materials from the ground. But supplies of these fuels are limited. And if we look up here at the chart, we can see how we use certain resources, such as oil. Oil is used for gasoline, paint, plastic, and even shampoo. And coal is used for electricity, heat, paint thinner, and insecticides. And iron ore is used in machines, bicycles, autos, and buildings. And we see a picture down here of an oil derelict. And this derrick pumps oil from underground. Oil is made into gasoline for cars and diesel fuel for large trucks. And when you see one going, it moves. This part goes up and down here. When we use up an ore, mineral, or fuel resource in one place, we must find new places to look. Mining and drilling can leave permanent marks, such as the open pit mine in the picture. Getting important natural resources from Earth can change its surface. An endless supply of resources. Some natural resources are not used up. Plants, for instance, receive an ongoing supply of sunlight. The Earth can cleanse and return the air we breathe and water we need. Sunlight, air, and water are examples of resources that are always available on Earth. And in this picture, we see hematite. Hematite is an ore that contains iron. And here's a picture of coal. This coal formed in the earth from plant life that lived millions of years ago. And a huge crane loads coal into a dump truck at a mine. And there's the big crane. And here is our checkpoint question that we'll talk about. List 2 non-renewable resources. You can probably come over here and see where it talked about coal and oil and natural gas and how they are not renewable because the energy from them can only be used once. And then we can get more fuel by digging more of these materials from the ground. And then our second checkpoint question is, why is coal a non-renewable resource? And again, because we have to get, in order to get more of it, we have to get it out of the ground, don't we? It gets used up. Okay, that's it for this lesson. See you next time.